Um, Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Barnet Southgate College Tottenham Hotspur Male Football Academy Programme webinar. I'm James. I'm the Sports Development Manager for Barnet Southgate College, and we've also got my colleague Glenn Hicks on the session tonight. Glenn is a coach within the Tottenham Hotspur Academy and the head coach of our college programme. So how it's going to work tonight is Glenn's going to do a presentation first. So Glenn will talk for about 20 minutes, telling you specifically about the football and the football opportunities regarding the programme. Then he'll throw to me and I'll do something on the college specifically, talk a little bit about the male football programme, but talking more generally about the academics, what courses you can do, which are better to do, what most people do, the entry requirements, the college as a whole in regards to sport and our sporting reputation, and then we'll go to Q&A at the end and answer any questions that you may have. On the Q&A, there's a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Zoom by now. Pop any and all questions you might have. There's no question that's not a good question. Any question's a good one. Pop a question in the Q&A box and we'll go through and answer them all at the end. So hopefully that's all clear. We shouldn't be longer than 55 minutes, hopefully, depending on how many questions there are. But thank you for taking your time, and I'll now throw to Glenn. Glenn, over to you to share your screen.
Brilliant. Hi, guys. Again, like James, thanks for joining us. Just getting up this presentation. James, are we good? Can you see that?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, guys. So firstly, welcome. Like James said, my name's Glenn Hicks. I've been working at Tottenham Hotspur for 12 years now, 2009. I've been coaching for 22 years, but we'll go into that in a little bit of detail, all right? A little bit later on. So let's just get started. Okay, so Barnet and Southgate Tottenham Hotspur Player Development Programme. You've obviously heard about us and applied and shown interest. So we're just going to speak a little bit about 2 or 3 key elements of the football programme that you're obviously interested in, and pathways and where it can take you if you join us, okay? So this is just a statement from us in terms of what we stand for at Tottenham. And you can see here, if you want to read this a lot as well as listen to me, then you can. So basically everything that we do is in line. The Tottenham Hotspur Football Development College Programme is in line with all of our player development programmes. So we deliver based on our Tottenham Hotspur Academy philosophy. So like I say, I've been working in the academy for 11 or 12 years alongside my college job. And it's benefited me greatly and the players on the programme. So all the stuff that you would hear or see about Spurs Academy, we try and line that up with what we deliver on our college programmes as well, okay? You can leave that on there for another 10 seconds, so you can have a little read if you want. Okay, so about the pathways. So if you join us, if you look at the top, again, as I'm talking, if you want to read through the slide, you can, okay? So we try, obviously, I know a lot of you will have aspirations to be professional footballers, and it's possible because we've had boys go on from our college programme to be professional footballers. But we have terrific links to US scholarships as well, but a very good level of semi-professional football. So you'll see a name of a club on here called Haringey Borough, and they're one of our immediate partners, and we feed there. To be on the college programme, to get in there under 18s, it's exclusive to our college programme. So they play in the FA Youth Cup. They've got an under 23 set up, which is a really good link to help you develop from youth football into senior football. And we've got players that have gone on to the first team at Haringey Borough. And one of our members of staff, Tucker, he is the first team coach at Haringey Borough. So the link there is concrete, and there's a really good pathway into semi-pro football. And like I say, read this at your leisure as well while I'm talking to you. We've got links to good universities as well. So when you come out the end, we want you to pursue, alongside your academics, we want you to fulfill your footballing potential, whether that's semi-professional, professional, which, like I say, we do develop professional footballers, or playing any other level of football, whichever your potential might be, or go into America to do a scholarship like we've had many boys do in the past, okay? The next bit don't need me to go over it too much, but that will tell you about the A levels and the B Tech and the YMCA, which James will talk about a little bit later on, okay? But you can see here as well, we cater for a range of abilities. So I know some of you might have aspirations to be a professional footballer, which is great. But, you know, if you're not quite going to be a professional, you can be professional something, or you can at least play football at a very decent level, all right? So we've got lots of pathways for varying abilities. Okay, the coaching. We'll talk about myself and my coaching team. We're all UEFA highly qualified UEFA coaches. More importantly than being qualified, I think the biggest thing that qualifies us is our industry experience. So like I say, I've been coaching for 22 years now, 1999, since I was 15, 16 years old. I'll let you do the maths to work out how old I am. But I think that's one of the biggest strengths of our program, guys, to be honest. So James Edgley himself, all the professionals in the department, so the support team that work with the physiotherapy, the multidisciplinary team, you know, the physio, the gym work that you get, the other members of staff at the college. The biggest strength of our program is we're all industry specialists. You know, James has played a good level of semi-pro football himself. Tucker's played football and been in the game a long, long time. And that links up to helping you get the most opportunities as possible when you're constantly getting really high level of professional advice, okay? And you'll see with the coaching team we've got, they're not all as experienced as me, but we've got a nice balance. We've got coaches like myself that are 20 years and worked in the academy. All of our other coaches work at Spurs as well, or in the development centres, and we bring through young coaches as well. So you'll see some young trainee coaches come through, and that's what we try and do in terms of a pathway and progressing people, okay? So you'll have a really strong team of coaches. And again, if you just look at the bottom bit here, this word authenticity, you know, we are authentically Tottenham. Like I say, our staff develop on these programs and have been at Spurs a long, long time. So we're all quite consistent with the philosophy and what we deliver. And as you can see here about the Academy endorsed philosophy, we run alongside the technical syllabus that we would be delivering at Academy. So you're getting a high spec, high level, very well detailed program to help you develop technically, tactically, and then obviously with the physical development team supporting us to help with your physical development as well. And that includes like injury and rehab and stuff like that. Okay, so there's a comprehensive team. So I'll be really brief on mine. A little overview of myself. Yeah, like I said, I've been coaching since 1999. I've done 10 years of grassroots coaching. I've worked in the women's game and worked with young footballers that have gone on to play for England ladies. And about 12 years ago, I decided to come to Spurs, and I've been working in the college programs. I'm probably the longest serving college coach we've got at the moment, and worked at Spurs in the academy as well for the last 12 years. Okay. 3 words to sum me up, just to give you an idea, is passion, commitment, and leadership. Okay. This is Aaron Baker. Aaron's been with us for the last 5 years at Southgate, because I've been working at Southgate for 5 years. I was at another college previously, and Aaron's been with us the whole time as well. Aaron's 24 years old now, and he came through our coaching apprenticeship scheme, like a centre of excellence. So he's gone from being a student on our programme to working full-time for the last 5 years with us at Barnet and Southgate College. And he's also got experience working in primary schools, soccer schools, and he does academy stuff with the development centres as well, okay? And he's also, this is important, so Aaron will be working with you every day, but Aaron with Tucker are also the under-18s lead and head coaches as well. So when they play in the FA, when you progress at the college, that's your semi-pro pathway with Aaron, who gets to see you every single day training, and he'll decide whether you're ready for the 18s, and then you might push on to the 23. So there's, again, Aaron is a link to the clear pathway to Haringey Borough Football Club as well. Okay. Ryan Blackman joined us this year, but he's been at Spurs a very long time, 9 years. He come across to our college program this year. He's a new member of our team, but he's not inexperienced. He plays a very, very good level of semi-pro football as well. He's been playing football for 10 years now. I think he's played like 500 games at a very good semi-pro level. So he's got very good playing experience alongside his coaching. And as you can see here, again, like myself, he works in and around the academy with the development centres and on our global player development program, which includes our international programs as well. So for the coaches' development, they go all around the world, sometimes in June and July, to to gain experience from internationally, from abroad as well. Okay. 3 words to sum up: enthusiastic, encouraging, and passionate, which was what he chose. Young Aaron Clifton here is one of our young development coaches. All right. He's only 20 years old, but he's another one that's come through our coaching centre of excellence at Tottenham Hotspur, which we're incredibly proud of. And he's gone from student to going through a 12 to 18-month centre of excellence program where he gets developed as a coach, and he's now a part-time member of staff. And again, similar to the others, he's a little bit at the beginning of his career, but he's got a permanent contract with us at Spurs. And as you can see on the screen there, he's working across the club in various roles. He also does the women's under 15s. He's one of their coaches for the WSL, okay, which is good for his experience and stuff as well. He has worked in terms of observing right across all the age groups in the academy, which was part of his CEC. And he said 3 words to sum himself up: dedicated, creative, and passionate. One thing you'll see consistently, guys, with the words we're all saying, there's a lot of words like dedication and commitment and stuff and passion. And that's the main thing you'll get from this coaching team. Okay. Very hard working. This guy's photo sums it up. You look at that terrific smile that Tucker's got. Tucker is the glue that holds everything together. All right. Tucker's one of the most senior coaches, along with myself. You can see here, he started coaching in 2002. He's the current first team coach at Haringey Borough. And in case you're not familiar with what the football pyramid looks like, you've got the Football League, and then 2 or 3 steps below that is Haringey Borough. So you've got like the National League South, and then there's Haringey Borough. And it's a very, very good level of semi-pro football. Tucker also links up the 18s, 23s, and first team, like we've said previously, okay? And he works at the college. So he's not a Tottenham Hotspur member of staff, but he links the college to Haringey Borough to Tottenham. And you'll see Tucker everywhere you go. He'll be on campus to make sure you guys are doing your work and you're committed and you're doing what's expected of your college. And he'll be on the training ground all the time, fully supporting you as well. And again, enthusiasm is the first word he says, very consistent with all the other coaches, tactical and specific. All right. So here's one of the pathways for you guys if you join us. So we want to develop you as players first and foremost, which obviously you're all young people, you're all aspirational with your football, and we will fully support you, and we believe that we can help you fulfill your potential. But as an additional thing, a lot of young people like yourself get interested in coaching, and we're proud to say we're one of the first coaches to have a coaching centre of first club, to have a coaching centre of excellence. And lots of members of our staff, current staff that do soccer schools, work on the college programs, have come from college and gone through a pathway to be coaches at Spurs, okay? And that is the pathway. So you'd come in a coaching centre of excellence. So let's say fast forward to when you're 18, 19, you might have an interest in coaching alongside playing football or going to university, wherever you want to go when you leave us. And here's a pathway you can progress up in our coaching centre of excellence. So some of the boys like Aaron Baker would have come in at the coaching centre of excellence, and he's gone through being a junior coach, lead coach, and they're currently working on the college programs and doing international programs. So they've got up to like step 6 and 7 of development centre coach in such a short space of time as well. All right. So there's a coaching pathway there for you. This from me kind of sums up. So if you want to know what us coaches are all about and what our culture is and what we're trying to encourage and how we might get the best from you, you know, you might have had a coach in the past that might have been a little bit overly critical or maybe not demanding enough. There's lots of different types of coaches, but I think we're skillful enough to get the balance of knowing when to push you and be demanding, when sometimes you probably don't feel like you can achieve certain things. I'd like to think the biggest thing that sums up is we're constantly helping young people surprise themselves and unearth new potential. So we've had a lot of boys go on to trials that previously thought they'd never have trials. We've had a lot of boys just get better opportunities than they ever thought they would. And to sum it up, behind every fearless player is a fearless coach who refused to let them be anything but the best that they could be. So when we do get demanding, which we will, we set very high expectations and standards. And it's not just us coaches that drive that. You're going to come into a college program, guys, where like when you transition from school to primary school to secondary school, you're going to come into a college program with 18, 19-year-old young men, and you're going to be 16. So you know, it'll take a little bit of adjusting and stuff. But whenever we set the demands and we are pushing you, it's because we believe you can achieve things, not because you can't. All right. We look to build on things that you can do and try and open up new doors and opportunities. So that's just to give you an idea of what our philosophy is in terms of coaching. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can all see this. There's a few pictures here. All right. And I'm just gonna get my laser pointer so I can highlight. So just going to tell you a little bit. These are some success stories. And I'm going to give you a little bit into their background so you can get an idea that we don't want you to come in perfect. We don't want you, you know, we believe however you come in, whether you've been released from a pro club or you've never really had a trial or you're not interested in certain things like coaching, we're not interested. We will work out what you are. We're interested in where you can go. And so this young man here on the first one, his name's Cezanne. He struggled in the first year, probably let himself down a little bit with his commitment, responded to a bit of a kick up the backside and, you know, saying, come on, you've got to work harder, do a bit better. Retained his place for the second year, improved immensely, probably went up from like a fourth team player to the elite team that he played in. And he also then, because he improved a lot by his third year, got offered an opportunity on our coaching centre of excellence. And he's currently a part-time employee at Spurs as well. Okay. This young man here in goal with the gloves on, with a red top, his name's Robert Doggeroo. He done 2, possibly 3 years with us. He was part of our National Football Youth League winning team, winning squad. And he's currently in his third year with a professional football contract in Romania. Okay. So he's one of our, in recent years, professional players. And Robert was one who, through sheer hard work and dedication and professionalism and learning and working hard, I think he surprised himself and a lot of others to go on and be a professional footballer as well. Okay, moving down this bit here with, so you can see Callum here in his purple jacket, and there's also a picture of Callum here. Callum only came with us for 1 year, so some of you guys might be 17 or 18 or leaving, not just school leavers. Callum had already been at college somewhere, and he had an option to go to USA to do a scholarship or come here with us. And he weighed all these options up and he thought we could progress well here. After being with us for 1 year, he became a Haringey Borough first team player. Okay, so he currently plays for Haringey Borough first team. And he developed so well, and he obviously had the qualities and the interest to be a coach. He currently works for us at Spurs as well, all right? And it's the same with Marius here, who got to meet Jose Mourinho. These two guys, we're very proud of them. Callum and Marius were the first two that got through the Centre of Excellence and got permanent work with Spurs. Okay, so they're about 21 years old now. So it was a couple of years ago now that they left us. This young lad here, Shani Lemba, is still with us, came in at 16, thought he was a centre forward. We offered him our professional advice. We said to him, actually, if you change position, we think you've got much more potential. Within 18 short months, he's trialled at, you can see that he's got an England cap. He's played for England schoolboys or the ECFA team. He's trialled at, to date, Colchester United, Tottenham, Reading, Nottingham Forest. And before he was 16, he had never played centre-back. Within 18 months of playing centre-back and working with us, I think he's excited himself about the potential he might have as a footballer. And he currently also plays with Haringey Borough men's first team. This young man here, Temis, he's in his, you can see he's got a QPR kit on. He's in his third year professional contract, third year at Queen's Park Rangers, currently on loan to Barnet Football Club. So if you watch Barnet down in League 2 or the National League, he's playing for Barnet first team. And he was with us for 2 years, again, part of our National Football Youth League winning team. He came down to visit us today. So he still comes back. He was down with us today at Coles Park. Really, really impressive young man, and he's a professional footballer. This young lad, Sami Basadi, is the same as Callum. He's currently a first team player. He was similar to Callum. He'd done 1 year at another college, sixth form, didn't quite like it, came over to us and spent 2 years with us. So when he was in year 13 and 14, I believe it is, went on trial with Reading under 23s last year. And like I say, is a current first team player at Haringey Borough. All right. So that's just 6 boys of a lot more that we could have chosen. So hopefully you can get a feel there that your actual footballing pathways are there. You know, if you want to play at a good level of semi-pro or pro, there's just half a dozen young people that are testament to that. All right. So guys, that's pretty much it from me. This would be the starting point, okay? And it sounds a little bit cliche, but you would have scanned the QR code or completed an application form. And what I would say to you is hopefully just by applying to this course, because that's all Callum and Sammy and all them other boys did. Temis came over from Greece and applied for the course, couldn't really speak English, but just by applying for the course and then applying himself correctly to the course with the support of us, you know, he's living a dream life at the moment, 3 years into a professional footballing career. All right. I'm just going to play this video. Okay. If you can see it, it just runs out for about 2 minutes and it just shows some little highlights. If you can't, guys, we're going to arrange to get this sent to you. All right. So it's just 2 or 3 minutes long. We will forward this on to you though. Hopefully gives you a little picture of some of the training experiences that we do on a daily basis. So if you can see this, guys, another benefit of the program is we often get to go to our training centre. You'll get a trip maybe once a year. You can see this is some of our football highlights. So our games get filmed in the National Football Youth League. We're looking to take that to another level next year as well with the new VO cameras. And we're going to implement some new tactical analysis tools we've got and give you some technical and tactical feedback. So apologies if you can't see this on the stream if it's glitching. But if you can, hopefully it's giving you a feel for the style of football we like to play as well. There's a lot of creativity on display, a lot of really good goals being scored. Guys, on that, if you want to go to the National Football Youth League and see how competitive we normally are, we're normally in the top 2 or 3 teams in the country with our elite team, with our National Football Youth League team. Marco Magunga there that just scored a goal, went on trial with Wolfsburg and a few other clubs. You know, we've had a lot of other boys on trial. This is the lad Sami Basardi scoring a right foot 30-yarder. He's left-footed apparently. Developed that right foot well with us. That was a game against Leyton Orient. We've got 2 games against Leyton Orient coming up again in a few weeks' time, which some of you may have heard about. That was a 92nd minute winner away to Portsmouth. Always makes me smile. If you got to see that at the end, guys, that was Tucker celebrating with the boys because we played away to Reading. And Reading are one of the strongest teams in the country in the National Football Youth League as well. And we won 1-0, but we were still waiting for the other game to finish. And I actually found out on the bus on the way home that that we had actually won the league and we were national champions that year. So hopefully you can see that there's success as well. James, would you like me to stop sharing now, yeah?
Thanks, Glenn.
Has it stopped sharing, James?
Yeah, stop sharing now, mate, and I will take over. So
yep, perfect. There you go, mate.
Just waiting for my camera to kick back in. There we go. Thank you for that, Glenn. I will share my screen now, guys. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the college, and I'll also tell you a bit about how the program works. Can you see that, Glenn? Can you see my screen? I'll take that silence as a yes.
I was muted. Yes, James. Yep, got it.
Yeah, cool. Great. So I won't dwell too much on this. It's not really so relevant for the football program, but if you ever come across BSC Bears, that's the sort of headline brand for the whole sports offers at Barnet Southgate College. So the football doesn't really buy into it much because we've obviously got such a strong brand association in Tottenham Hotspur. So but things like the athletics, boxing, basketball, tennis, etc. Yeah, it's all the American collegiate thing, but I won't go too much into it with the football. So who are we? So Barnet Southgate College is the sports department for the BSc is the sports department for Barnet Southgate College. We are the largest sports department in London and one of the most successful and one of the largest in the UK. So How do we quantify that statement? So it's based on a few things. One, the volume of learners we have associated with sport at the college. Two, the amount of programs we have, sporting programs we have in terms of the size and the array of academy programs we've got. And three, the success that we have. So the team titles, the individual progressions to professional sport across the sports, to higher education, university, and high levels of university sport, to America, whatever the exit route. Then that's what we have. That's why we quantify that our success really. In terms of the current academies, we have the following based at the college. So we have the Tottenham Hotspur male program, the Tottenham Hotspur female program that links in with the WSL academy as well. We have the NFL academy. We have an athletics academy based out of Lee Valley and with our partners at Imperium Sport. We have the England boxing program. We have the Wimex tennis academy and scholarship package. We have a basketball academy, and then we have the leadership program for those who study sport but don't fit into one of those pathways. The delivery sites for the college are spread across North London. So the main location for the sports department is the Southgate campus. We also have the Wood Street campus in High Barnet and the Colindale campus in the west of Barnet. What academic course you study dictates which campus you'd be based at. So sports academic subjects are based at the Southgate campus, so your BTECs, your MBQs, your YMCAs, etc. A-levels are based at Wood Street. Business department is Wood Street mostly, although they're looking to launch business at Southgate also. Construction, hair and beauty, that's at Colindale. So what you study dictates what campus you're based at for your academic course. Glenn's already mentioned that currently we're at Coles Park for the football provision. Generally speaking, like you don't have to study sports to be on the male football academy. We have quite a few studying A-levels and a couple doing some other course areas. Generally speaking, it's recommended that you either do A-levels or sports department, and I've been in discussions with the business curriculum manager to open up the business courses, just so that we know that if you're in one of those areas that we recommend you to go into, that your training isn't conflicted with your academic timetable. If you studied construction, for example, or plumbing over in Colindale, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't be on the football program, but I just can't guarantee that your timetable will work. So you may have lessons at times when there's matches or there's training. Additionally, certainly with the Colindale-based courses, it's not that conducive location-wise. So we don't put on transport from the Colindale campus. The Wood Street campus, we do put on transport to get back to the Southgate campus, and then from the Southgate campus onto training to Coles Park in this case. But I'll come on to more of that later. And when we say the sports department, that sports department means we're a big department. I manage the non-academic side of the department, and then my colleague on the curriculum side manages the curriculum. But we are one big department. We're not two separate ones, even though I work across college really. So what do we do? How does it work? So when you come to be on the Tottenham Hotspur program with us, you're on something called a study program. So a study program is a combination of ingredients that form your college experience, what you do with us while you're here. So your main qualification is obviously the biggest component. So whether that's A-levels or your BTEC in sport or whatever it might be that you choose to do and have the grades to get onto. So that's your academic course is your main component. Then, of course, you have your academy provision. So with Glenn and the team, doing the football and the amount of football coaching and getting the training sessions in that you do, plus your games program, and I'll come on to how many and how that works shortly. Then you have English and maths. If you haven't achieved a grade 4 in your GCSEs, you still have to do that again while you're with us alongside your other qualification. Depending on what course area you are in, you will have to do some elements of work experience while you're with the college. And then we also have the tutorial and pastoral package. So your tutor sessions, learner services delivering some sessions on various topics, knife crime, finances, whatever it might be. So all those different things combine, and that is what you are on at the college. That is your study program. Okay, Monday to Friday and in term time. Although the football spans some holidays as well. As you're probably aware, we partner with some industry-leading bodies to deliver our sports academies. So I'll come on to the various logos, and in this case, it's clearly, as Glenn's already referenced, all the staff at Tottenham Hotspur. Echoing what Glenn's already touched on, really, one of the real strengths of the sports department and our programs and our offers is the staff. So Glenn's already gone into the detail of the football staff, and he's mentioned a few of us at the college as well. But a lot of our staff, similar to the coaches, have real experience within the industry, coming from the industry to work at the college, or a lot of us still work in the industry outside of our time with the college. So Glenn's already mentioned Tucker, who's a college employee, being one of the first team management staff at Haringey Borough. I myself work for the Premier League, working with all the Premier League academies and their games programs, and since COVID with the first teams as well. And then we have other staff at the college, level 5 personal trainers, sports rehabilitation specialists, the England C team physiotherapist, who's half teacher and also runs the physiotherapy clinic at the college for our student athletes. Currently other practicing coaches. So lots of different experience, lots of different aspects of knowledge, lots of contacts that all come back into the college to improve the packages and the programs that we offer for the betterment of our students. So a real good staff there to support students. I mean, what are we preparing you for in these programs? It's essentially the next step. We're preparing you for the next step, whether that's in your sport, trying to go professional or semi-professional, achieving a high rank in whatever sports and your training there. Bottom line, you're here to achieve a vocational or academic qualification, of course, as well. So whether that's your BTEC, A levels, and then that might be progressing you on to university if that's the route you want to go, or into employment, either as a professional athlete or something else within the industry, a coach, a manager, a physiotherapist, whatever employment that you choose to go into. I know Glenn's and the coaches are big on this one as well. It's not also just about looking after you and preparing you as a student and as an athlete. It's also about you as a person. So that development of life skills, becoming an independent and responsible adult, developing some critical thinking, developing certain behaviours, some qualities as humans that's going to stand you in better stead for the rest of your career and your life, really. So these are some of the partners that we work with across the programs. All the academies function in a similar way, and as I said, it's about embedding training and a games program into your study program. But they all function in a similar way. How much training and how much games program you get depends on which program you're on. And for example, athletics is no games program, so they're much more about training. And they compete for their athletic clubs outside of that or individual needs. With the Tottenham Hotspur male football programme, you get a minimum of 2 training sessions a week and a games programme. If you're in the elite squad, you get 4 training sessions a week and a games programme. As Glenn mentioned, we also have the Haringey Borough under-18s, which is exclusively ours. And we link into the under 23s and into the first team as well. So there's all these different exit routes. So in terms of the leagues that we play in, Glenn's already spoken about the National Football Youth League. That's what our under 19 college first team play in. The Haringey Borough side is the under 18s, and that plays in the Southern Counties Floodlit Youth League. So that's evening games, playing under floodlights, playing at non-league grounds, and also in the FA Youth Cup. We also enter into the AOC college leagues, for 2 of the teams. So the second and the third team is in the AOC College League, and then the third and the fourth team are also in the AOC College League, but the Category 3 league. So we cater for a real range of levels, from very elite players looking to get back into the pro game or merge into the professional game, or force their way into the semi-professional game, all the way through the spectrum to boys who just love their football, want to get better, have a great experience, enjoy it, do it alongside their academics, and everything in between. Maybe you want to go into coaching. So all that spectrum we cater for, both within the training sessions and also within the games program, and that's really important. I think what we really value in the program is, amongst the staff, is we try to make sure that we treat the best player in the program as well, and give them as good an experience as the worst player in the program. And it doesn't really matter to us. It's about putting on and making everybody enjoy it and improve and get a great experience, both on the pitch, in the classroom, and outside of those two areas. So Glenn's already spoken about some of the success. This is just even some of the recent success. So in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, some of the various team titles, various accolades that we've had, individuals progressing into professional contracts or national team representative honours or all-star stuff. So I could fill loads and loads of slides for the recent success there. And a brief history of the programme. This is the 11th year now that Barnet Southgate College have had a male football programme with Tottenham Hotspur. It's really emerged and evolved over that time to the point where the elite aspect of the programme now is really the shadow development set up for the club's academy. And that's how all the programmes in the National Football Youth League are designed to be. You know, they're meant to be those shadow operations for those who are not quite there for the EPPP system, but it's a catch net for those who are knocking on the door to play at a really high standard of football, to then merge back into it if they can. We've already gone into some of the professional football contracts in the last couple of years, and then beyond that, we've managed to produce a professional player at least once a year for the last 8, 9 years, except for the most recent year, but that was COVID interrupted. I'm sure if it hadn't happened for COVID, we've managed to progress one of the boys there. The FA Youth Link Up and Haringey Borough Link Up has emerged recently in the last few years as a really important strand, because it allows the FA Youth Cup representation, allows that non-league progression for some of the players. And the Coach Education Centre has also emerged. So, as I mentioned, some of the catering for that range of abilities and that range of ambitions, those people who show that interest in the workforce, either coaching or some other aspect of sport within the football club, we have that vocational exit route as well. I'm not going to dwell too much on this. If you're interested in how the curriculum of the various departments, how the various departments form their curriculum, you can actually go back and watch all previous talks from different curriculum areas at the college on the website. So under the virtual open events page, if you scroll down, there's talks from each curriculum area showing how they develop their curriculum, what courses they offer, the entry criteria and everything like that. So I won't dwell too much on this. So what I'm about to share with you now is the main courses that are on offer alongside the Tottenham Hotspur male football programme. As I mentioned earlier, it's not to say you can't do anything else, and certainly we're a big believer in dual careers. So just because you're a talented athlete doesn't mean you want to study sport, hence why you could do A-levels and business and so forth. But it's just being realistic about the timetable provision. So in the sports department, this is the academic offer within the sports department. So we've got BTECs ranging from level 1 up to level 3 and level 3 extended diploma. So where you come in is dictated by what entry requirements you achieve. So starting at the bottom, if you get 2 GCSEs of any grade, you're looking at the level 1 introductory diploma in sport. So that's a 1-year course. You come into that, have a really good year, progress on to that. After that, you come on to the BTEC level 2. Alternatively, you can come straight into the BTEC level 2 if you achieve 4 GCSEs at grades 9 to 3. So that's also a 1-year qualification. If you have a good year in that, get a merit, distinction grade, progress up, or you can come straight on to the level 3 or the level 3 extended diploma in sports. The entry requirements for that, for the level 3, for the basic diploma, that's 5 GCSEs grades 9 to 4. For the extended diploma, that's 6 GCSEs grades 9 to 4, including maths and English. They're both level 3 qualifications. There's no difference in terms of the level of work as such. The difference between the level 3 diploma and the level 3 extended diploma is the amount of modules that you study. So the level 3 extended diploma is the 3 A-level equivalent course, and the level 3 diploma, basic diploma is the 2 A-level equivalent course. So if you apply for university with an extended diploma in sport and you have a distinction grade, the highest grade, that's effectively like applying for university with 3 A's at A-level, as a rough example. So as I said, where you come in is dictated by what entry grades you come out. Hopefully you come straight into level 3, but if not, you start lower and you progress your way out. Alternatively, we've got these vocational courses in sport. So starting with the level 2 MVQ in certificate in activity leadership and coaching. That's a coaching vocational route. That's about building up a portfolio of work, going into schools, delivering in their PE lessons, delivering to primary after school clubs, going to community settings and coaching there, learning some underpinning skills and knowledge back at the college, but then going and practicing it in real life settings and building up the evidence of work. That's a 1-year qualification, and that's the same entry requirement as the BTEC level 2. We also have the level 2 YMCA diploma in personal training and gym instruction. And we also have the level 3 YMCA certificate in personal training and gym instruction. They're industry specific quals. So they are for if you want to go down the route of becoming a gym manager or a personal trainer. You have to start, in this case, on the level 2 for the YMCA. You can't come straight into level 3, regardless of what grades you have, because it's the same as like a coaching badge. You can't go straight into being your way for B coach. You have to do your FA level 1, FA level 2, etc. You have to come to have the underpinning knowledge of the level 2 YMCA. The level 2 YMCA is 5 GCSEs grades 9 to 4. And then, as I said, you do that for a year. That's a 1-year qual. You can move up to the level 3. What I would say about all these routes is they're great courses. If you know that that's a career area that you'd like to go into, coaching or gym management or personal training or S&C coach, for example, they're fantastic. However, you won't get into university with those courses. Okay, so you have to go down the BTEC route if you want to have university as an option, BTEC or A-levels. Now, what some students, and some of the students even that Glenn's mentioned in his success stories there, what they've maybe done is started on a BTEC, especially if they've come straight in at level 3 or level 3 extended diploma, done that for 2 years, got a great qual, finished it, high grade, but thought, I don't want to go to university yet, I don't want to get a job yet, I want to stick around, especially on the football program, to get more football experience and improvement. And then they stay with us for an extra year and do a YMCA, for example. So they end up leaving the college with two qualifications. In A-levels, we have quite a large selection of A-level subjects to choose from. It's probably easy to say what we don't offer in A-levels, which is modern foreign languages and geography and drama, and that's pretty much it. All the rest we offer an A-level study program in. We also offer PE A-level. So if you want to study sport, but you want to go down the A-level route rather than the sports BTEC, we do offer PE. The entry requirement for the A-level department is 6 GCSEs grades 9 to 4, including maths and English, and they generally like grade 6s in the subjects that you want to study. If you've started, I don't know the demographic of those of you on this call, on this session, but if you've started A-levels elsewhere and you're looking to maybe transfer, that is possible. We just need to look at what exam boards you've done in your subjects and what grades you've achieved and so far, or you could choose to start again. What you can't do is you can't do 2 years of A-levels somewhere else and then retake your second year with us. It has to either be retaking your first year or joining for your second year after having done a year elsewhere. Just preempting one question you might have, you can't do 4 A-levels and be on the Tottenham Hotspur male programme. You just won't have the time. You'd have to do 3. Generally speaking, the A-level team like you to pick 3 A-levels that have a degree of flow between them. So, for example, a selection like biology, PE, and psychology would work really well because they've got some overlapping features, some cross-shared knowledge, and the delivery is quite similar in terms of the teaching styles and the manner of how you would go about your work. If you have applied for A-levels and you are looking to join the male football programme, that's important to mention, and we'll cross-reference it with that department, but they need to make sure that you pick your subjects from certain grids to make you available for training and games. So those are the main academic areas that combine with the Tottenham Hotspur program. If you were adamant you wanted to do another course area, that's just a case of speaking with me, and we'll try to make it work if we can. But there's just no guarantees. That's all. You might have seen this TAS logo earlier in the presentation, so I don't expect you to necessarily know what it means, but it stands for Talented Athlete Scholarship Scheme. So that's been around for a while, and it focuses on student athletes who are aged 16 to 24 and are still in education. At the top level, it mainly works with universities and funds those athletes through their national governing bodies to access certain support services. Underneath that, a few years ago, they launched something called the Dual Career Accredited Centre. All that is essentially it's a marker, a show of excellence to say that if you are a Dual Career Accredited Centre, you are experts at managing student athletes and dealing with talented athletes in education. So we were the first FE college in the country to achieve this status and are still one of the few in London and the South East to have it. Only one or two have got it, including us. It essentially means we have a talented athlete policy. We run additional support workshops for our student athletes on things like anti-doping, nutrition, psychology, and we work with the guys at King's College London to deliver that. And if you are an international, national, regional level athlete in your sport, we have that flexible approach to learning. So Jess Ngunga, who's pictured there, is now part of the ladies' first team at Tottenham Hotspur in the WSL. She was in the England under-19 Lionesses. She would have to go away on England camps, for example. And it's not about saying, no, you can't go. It's go. We might deliver some work flexibly for you while you're out there, or come back. We'll have some catch-up sessions. Trying to take the pressure off the student athlete as much for them to know and feel like they can achieve in their studies and in their sport, and the two aren't fighting against each other. We have a physiotherapy clinic at the college run by Jack, who works with the FA, as I mentioned earlier. So any niggles, any injuries you have as one of our student athletes, you can go and get treatment with him for free, and get and rehab to improve and get back to fitness and get back on the field. He has a team of undergraduates working underneath him. We also have Emily, who runs the gym, but she's also a sports rehabilitation and sports therapist. So she also dovetails with Jack and often will handle all the rehab in the gym for those who are injured, getting them back to fitness. We have two gyms at the Southgate campus. We have the NFL Academy gym and the original gym. So the NFL Academy gym, you can only go in there with a staff member S&C coach. It has to be in a bespoke S&C session. The original gym is a drop-in gym, so Emily manages it. You can go in anytime it's open, and she will write a program for you. You can do your own stuff, whatever it might be. And this is all a free service we put on for our student athletes. In terms of the transport, I mentioned we do pickups from Wood Street, and we transport students from the Southgate campus to Coles Park and back again for those who want it. And we also transport students to all away games that is necessary. So all the transport's put on for you. So just finally, what do we expect from you? So essentially it boils down to four things: turn up on time, apply yourself, and meet your coursework deadlines. And if you do those four things, you'll have an amazing experience with us at the college, both in the academic side and on the football pitch, because the amount of investment that's made in these programs, both monetarily, the thought that goes into it, the effort that goes into it from the staff, the expertise that goes into them, you can't help but have an enjoyable experience and really progress in your football and in your academics and in your life, basically. But the academics always come first. You know, you are here at the college to achieve a qualification and move on to the next step. We would be remiss to not ensure that you're succeeding in the classroom. And anyone who's got ambitions to go to the States on a scholarship, that is a massive part of athletic success in the States. If you're not getting the GPA, as they call it, the grade point average, you are not going. It doesn't matter if you're the best athlete in the world. If you've not got the grades, you are not going. And it's a big thing that we work with them across the NFL academy, and that really is an eye-opener in some of the other sports. And often, I'm sure Glenn would back this up as well, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the best players on certainly the football program, but a lot of other programs, they're also some of the best learners. That doesn't necessarily mean they're the smartest. It just means they've got the best approach to learning. Because if you're a good learner in the classroom, you're going to be a good learner in the football. You're going to take on what the coaches are trying to tell you. You're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to think about how you can get better. And they manage their time well. And they're dedicated to being fantastic at everything they do, not just one thing that they do. We often don't have problems with most of the best players. But if you are behind in your academics, if you're not doing what you need to do with yourself in the classroom, or you're missing deadlines, we'll take you out of fixtures. You won't be allowed to play. Then you'll start to miss training sessions until you catch up. And that's it for me. So hopefully, I haven't seen, but because I've been sharing my screen, but hopefully some Q&As have been popping up throughout that in the Q&A box. Please ask anything on the football and the academics, whatever it might be. There's no bad questions. Before I dip into the Q&A box, if you want to follow us, these are our various social media accounts. There's also a football Instagram as well, which I can get the address for in a second and tell you, but it's if you want to follow that football account to stay up to date with anything football related. There's also my email, and there's the Sports Trials email address if you want to get in touch with us on a question that you don't want to ask in this forum. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Glenn, you can unmute yourself and let's dip into the questions. You want to turn your camera on, Glenn?
I'll try it. I think Nick might have control of it.
Okay. If Nick in the background can get Glenn's camera up.
Perfect.
There we go. See you. Right.
Brilliant.
I'll have a look through the questions, Glenn, and we'll answer them together. And I'll also probably think of some frequently asked questions that some people may have forgotten to ask. So first question is, when are the trials for the college academy taking place? So we have trials over the Easter holidays. Thankfully, the government roadmap has given us that clarity that we can have some trials. If you've already signed up to the program, as in if you've applied for the program, which I know a number of you on this talk would have done, then you would have already received an email from me giving you a slot when to come. If you haven't received that email, get in touch with Glenn or myself, and in the chat you'll see you should have seen the email addresses, or Nick might put them in there. It may be that email's gone into your junk folder, or you've given us the wrong email address, whatever it might be. That our trials are on the 6th of April and the 7th of April. So because of COVID, we're limited on capacity, so we can't have everyone in on the same session. So we've scheduled people in for very specific slots on those 2 days. So 6th of April from 9:15, and then again from 11:30. And then on the 7th, again, we've got some coming in at 9:15, and again, some coming in at 11:30. After that, we've also got a number of what we call keep warm sessions, additional training sessions throughout Easter. We've also got an overspill trial date on the 12th of April, but that's really only as a backup. Mainly it's the 6th and 7th of April. Okay, so if you haven't had that, check your junk, check to see if you've received anything. And Glenn and I will reinforce those messages this week. If you've not applied yet, apply through the sports registration page to the football program. Nick will put a link for that in the chat if he's not done so already. And then I will schedule you for a session of one of those slots and send you the details later this week. Anything to add on that, Glenn?
No, and then obviously in the following week, James, we've got these Leyton Orient games, which, guys, some of you might have received the text from me. So if you do very well in the first week of trials, we like to give people opportunity. I know we have to make a bit of a snapshot decision because we wouldn't have seen you for a long period of time. But in the second week, we've actually got some games arranged against Leyton Orient under 16s and under 18s, because we had a lot of boys that were close to trials and doing well just before COVID, and there's some boys that they want to look at. And yeah, we've got a great opportunity there. So if you do well in the trials next week, there's a possibility you could be chucked in against Leyton Orient under 16s, which is a great opportunity for you to early showcase your talent. And I'm not trying to get rid of students, but James would say the same. If we can help you develop early, if that means you're with us for 2 years, great. If you're with us for 2 months because someone takes you, we just want to help you get to whatever level you can at whatever time that is. Okay?
Totally agree. What do you study? I think the next 2 questions I think I probably answered. They asked them before I came onto that bit in my presentation. But what do you study to be in the football academy if you do BTEC? Well, you can study any course at the college, but generally speaking, most would do either a sports department course, so BTEC level 1, level 2, level 3 in sport, or an A-level study package. But yeah, and the second question is, can you study A-levels alongside the football program? Yes, you can. So I've already talked about that in the talk. Someone said you can go overseas to America. Well, that's an exit route. So there's lots of exit routes from us as a college. So higher education in the UK, try and send you to the States. Obviously, apply, and if you get offered something, great. Professional sports or employment. These are many different kinds of exit routes that we try to offer to the students. Okay, good question here. Is it possible to do a level 3 BTEC along with 1 A-level? No. You can't do that with us, I'm afraid. The timetables won't match. And also a level 3 BTEC, the BTECs that we do, unlike what a school might do, our BTECs are full-time. So you're doing that for a number of hours a week in terms of the funded hours of education. We don't do the basic BTEC, which is how schools do that mix and match. And do we get kit for free or do we need to pay? So that was one of my FAQs in the background in case someone asked that. So you have to buy your kit unless you're a grant student, a bursary student who's applied for the Learning Support Fund grant, in which case that is supplied for free. However, it's means tested. Your parents have to earn under a certain amount of money to get approved for that. The kit is all Nike teamwear. And we've gone with a new company now, so we're in a position for you guys who are trying for next year to send you the website to be able to order yours nice and early, so you don't even have to have enrolled at the college to be able to go and buy the kit for the program. So when pre-season comes around, depending on how early you order and purchase it, you can be ready to wear it in pre-season. There's also often the opportunity, if you're in the elite squad, Glenn sometimes manages to get some Tottenham Hotspur replica wear, and of course the matches are in Tottenham Hotspur replica kit for us. Anything to add on that one, Glenn?
Yeah, and also on a reward basis, guys. So just last week we had maybe half a dozen students that were so exceptional during lockdown, because obviously we are Tottenham Hotspur. We had spare Nike and Tottenham gear that we gave out to them. So some got like Spurs caps, Nike caps, woolly hats. Additional just plain Nike tops, different colors. So we always have some top-up stuff, but again, that's not a right, that's a privilege. That's like you have to earn the rewards for that stuff. And if you do make the elite squad, we do. So if you're in the elite squad of 30, which James was talking about, and you get 2 extra training sessions a week, and you're playing the National Football Youth League, you do get additional Tottenham stuff. And you might have seen them warming up there in one of the photos in like the different shades of blue. That's a perfect example of some of the stuff you get. But you would be expected to wear your Barnet and Southgate stuff in the daytime. And if you're given the Spurs stuff, that's for the elite sessions and the elite games. Okay. Obviously, like James said, alongside the replica kit that you wear for match days only. All right.
Thank you. Can I combine 2 A-levels with a sport BTEC? I think I've already answered that. No, you have to do either 3 A-levels or a BTEC in sport. Are there any transport facilities for people that live far from the campus? Well, there's transport to and from the college campuses to training, but we're not going to pick you up from your house and bring you to the college. No, I'm afraid not. But yes, transport. Yeah. Do we apply for the sport and BTEC together or separately? I can't see application form for the sports. Okay. That particular person who's asked that question, do we apply for the sport and BTEC together or separately? I know that you've applied for the football, so you should have received stuff about the football from me. If you want to email me directly, if you're not sure, go for that. But in general, guys, to apply for the football program, that's through the sports registration page that's in the chat, I think. But to apply for the course, again, that's through the college's website. You go to courses, 16 to 18-year-olds, pick your course subject area, A-levels or sports or whatever it might be, and go in and look through the course profiles and apply there. I would urge you all to apply for your courses as soon as possible. Tonight, tomorrow, if you haven't done already. You can apply for as many courses as you like. You don't have to apply for just one, because they're just applications. It's not that the courses necessarily will all fill up, some will fill up, but it's more just to get you in the system. And because we're having to do recruitment in a slightly different way this year, usually it would be part of the trial days. This year, it can't be. So you're going to have to rely on you doing it yourselves. And even if you're not sure of your options, go ahead and apply, because it just doesn't hurt in the long run. You know, if you change your mind, that's fine. How can you get in the elite squad? Glenn, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, competency. All right. So we're not going to gloss over it. If you're trying, so I can say this from my experience of working alongside some of the most elite footballers. So one young lad that's been in the headlines recently at Spurs, Dane Scarlett. He's not being given any favours by Jose Mourinho at 16 years old, being the youngest ever Spurs player in the Premier League. He's an exceptional talent. He works hard enough to be in the first team. And that filters down to every level, you know, because we say there's a pathway to semi-pro football. There are some fantastic players playing at semi-pro football in Haringey Borough, and it has to be earned. We do it on a meritocracy. You know, if you are good enough, doesn't matter on your age, because we've had 16-year-olds come in and they've been the best player in the under-19s, under-20s, playing against 18, 19, 20. So you just have to be good enough. You have to be physically, technically, tactically, all the requirements, you have to be good enough. That doesn't mean, what I would say though is, and again, I think this is one of the strengths of our program, guys. We have boys coming in the first year and not quite good enough, but they're very, very good young footballers. But what they need for 6, 12, maybe even 18 months is a bit more development, a bit more physical development, or maybe even tactical or technical development. They're not as good as they believe they are. But when they learn it, we have a lot of boys go from fourth team. Every year this happens. We've got one young lad now who's going to be playing against Leyton Orient in a couple of weeks. When he first joined us at 16, he was in the fourth team. He didn't make his debut in the Haringey Borough team until the end of his first year with the under-18s. Scored the winning goal, 5-4 as well, in the last minute of the game. We was all pleased for him. The following year, he progressed further and he ended up being in the elite team. And this week, next week, he's going to be playing against Leyton Orient. So you can progress very, very quickly. Don't ever think that it's a closed door. But short answer is, you have to be good enough. It's as simple as that. And we will be honest with you. We won't be brutal. We will tell you if we think you're not quite in the 35, we'll tell you where you are, and we'll always support you in what you need to work on as well. Okay.
Fantastic. What day is the trials again? To repeat, 6th and 7th of April, Tuesday the 6th, Wednesday the 7th, and different slots on those days. And you will be given a specific slot if you've applied. Do you have to do a course at the college to get in the team? You have to be a student at Barnet Southgate College to be on the Barnet Southgate College Tottenham Hotspur program. Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, I think that's all the questions that have come in, guys, unless there's any last minute ones that people want to ask. Anything football, academic? And I can't think of any ones that we've not really covered there, any subjects that we've not really covered. I think that's gone to everyone. So thank you for your time. Thank you for this evening. We've just over, about an hour with them, so nearly what I promised. So like I said, we'll be in touch regarding the 6th and 7th. If you haven't applied, please do so through the links that Nick's put on the chat. And please turn up, and we'll see you on the 6th and 7th. And we look forward to doing so. Okay. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you all soon. Take care.